Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Little Brown Jug Show. I'm your host, Mikey Pedroza, and this is a place where I talk about all things swing dancing and pretty much anything else I want to talk about, like Batman or something, or maybe becoming Batman, or being like Batman, or maybe coming to the understanding that you'll never be like Batman, even though you really want to one day. Boop, 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 boop. I want to send a special shout out to everybody at Swing Maniacs, Jordy, Ingrid, Yana, and a special shout out to Lydia for helping me out with those classes. You were all amazing. Madrid dancers, you're amazing, you're great. You're just starting out this crazy world that we call swing dancing, so I really hope I helped out in any way. And thank you for putting up with my broken Spanish, and for that matter, my broken English. It's not very good, but I mean, I read a thing online that said, hey, don't make fun of somebody that speaks a broken language because they can try to speak a different language. So I think I'm winning on that, or failing my ancestors, I'm not sure. Most of you out there already know me as a dance teacher. I get to spend a lot of time on the road, but also at the same time, I want to stay connected with Lindy Hop. And right now is such a great time to be alive for Lindy Hop because the communication is coming together so great. So today I want to showcase some of my favorite blogs, vlogs, and podcasts for all of you that might not know they exist or probably already do, and I just want to highlight them. So here we go. Jazz Monkey by Zach Ricard. This blog started in 2013 as just kind of sporadic thoughts and notes that Zach wanted to write on there. Coming from his mind, things that he wants to put out there, things like 6 realizations everyone needs to make about event organizers, the 10 commandments of the social dance floor, 5 jazz legends who were clearly reincarnated into modern pop icons, 5 realizations you need to make about dance teachers, which is a great post highlighting a lot of the silliness that we do when we idolize some of our favorite teachers and put them on a pedestal, but also kind of makes fun of ourselves in a great way, I think. He likes to poke fun at different people or different ideas, but it's always in good fun to try to create something absurd and just a really funny story. Zach said he became a dance teacher to try to make a difference in people's lives, no matter how small or how big it might be. So it's nice to see sometimes that his writing inspires other people. Check out his blog at jazzmonkey.wordpress.com for all of his posts, and I'm sure there's plenty of more crazy stuff in his head just waiting to get out there. If not, this is probably gonna push him to do it. Next up, Lindy Hop Problems by Megan Bowen. Or hashtag Lindy Hop Problems? Megan says that this blog started out by all the times that she started complaining about like sweaty palms or too much eye contact, dance floors, or shoes falling apart, asking people to dance in weird ways, just crazy stuff that happened to her at dances, and kind of coining the phrase hashtag Lindy Hop Problems after the hashtag First World Problems. Really just the whole site is for all of us to commiserate and kind of laugh at ourselves about the things we portray as problems in the dance world. Some of her favorite posts are the first time you enter a jam circle by yourself, swinging out so hard that you can't walk the next day, imagining people's dance faces as their sex faces, trying to convince people to learn how to Lindy Hop, and my favorite, when you're at a dance and you have to poop. It happens, man. We all do it. So says the almighty book. But her real big post came in the form of feeling like you can't say no, which stemmed from a personal story that Megan went through while she was dancing at a dance event. I'm not going to go too much into the details about that post, but I think you can all benefit by reading this post and kind of seeing a point of view perspective about this whole idea of when it's all right to say no when someone asks you to dance. Which to me, and I'm saying this to everybody in my personal opinion, it is totally okay to say no to someone that you don't want to dance with. Right now she has over 400 posts on this website about all the things we love to hate in dancing. When I asked Megan if she had any words of advice for all those Lindy Hoppers out there that want to start a blog themselves, she said, don't feel obligated to the audience that you don't even have yet. Write as many or as few posts you would like, and don't overcommit yourself just yet. I am currently trying to drag myself out of the stage where the blog seems like work to where it can be fun again. So check out Megan's site, lindyhopproblems.tumblr.com, for all the silliness that we all know and wish sometimes wouldn't happen on the dance floor, but it does, and we just gotta deal with it. But now we have a place to kind of laugh at it. Next up, SwungOver by Bobby White. This blog popped up about 5 years ago as a result of him just putting down his thoughts so he can see them. It gave him a chance to research and formulate ideas about the dance, history, and the culture that we now have today. Writing, along with dancing, is another passion of Bobby's, So of course he wanted to bring them together in this blog. There's a ton of great resources and information in this blog. In almost every post, there is something new you will learn about the dance, a dancer, or an idea that Bobby has come up with. One of my favorite posts, 20 original Lindy Hoppers that every beginner dancer should know or at least see. I know for me that I spent hours of my life watching a lot of those dancers do the same move over and over again on repeat on my computer, and to this day I still can't do what they do. But the thing is, it's not about doing what they do. It's about gaining the experience and the inspiration from the clips that we see. And maybe not taking it to a T, but at least taking the ideas and doing something else with them. Another great post that Bobby wrote is the Hollywood style versus Savoy style. Now, having been through that time and living in the LAOC scene back then, I can tell you that Hollywood style was the thing everybody was doing. I'm pretty sure you could look out into an audience and kind of see the same thing. And I'm pretty sure in the Savoy style, everybody kind of does the same thing. A few tips Bobby would like to send out to everybody looking to make a blog. Really keep regular posts in the first few years of your blog. Not just for your readers to trust you, but also for yourself. It keeps you exploring and forming your voice. Before you hit publish, think very, very carefully about every sentence you write and how it can be taken. Finally, I highly recommend you keep track of how much you experience the dance versus how much you write about it. Sometimes I've had to take breaks from SwungOver because I realized I had spent much more time writing posts than I have actually dancing, or practicing, or being in the scene. Bobby also has a YouTube channel where he talks about a lot of these things and shows his practices and his ideas and his theories kind of formed in video format. So if you want to check that out, go over to swungover.wordpress.com, and also the YouTube channel will be in the link down below so you can check out all of his videos of how the mind of Bobby White works. Next up is my buddies over at Yahoo's Swing Nation, brought to you by Manu, Rick, Nicole, and Jin. Now, Swing Nation kind of evolved out of a podcast that started way back in 1998, and then they started adding video, and then when they added Nicole in there, they really started the talk show format. For about a year, these guys would bring you the latest in clips and blogs and the ideas that were going off around the world about Lindy Hop in one half-hour session for you all on YouTube. I did one of the shows and I saw how much work and love went into it. They rented a space, created a studio out of nothing really, an empty space. The hard work that went into the show finally got the better of them, and they felt like they wanted to move on and do other things instead of just the show. The talk show version of it that we saw on YouTube went on for about 69 episodes. 69 episodes. And week after week, they brought you the best in YouTube clips, old and new, the best discussions that were going on in Facebook, Twitter, and different kinds of blogs, and brought Lindy Hop all over the world and felt like it actually connected everybody around the world. I know I can be counted among all the people that miss the show for providing such a great service to all the Lindy Hoppers all around the world. Thank you guys so much for doing all your hard work. I can't wait to see what else you guys do with Swing Nation, if it ever comes back in this format or a different one, or all the silly, weird, informational ways that it might come back. Thank you guys so much. Check out Yehudi.com for all the Swing Nation episodes. Also, I'll leave a link to their YouTube channel so you can check that out as well. Hours and hours and hours of mindless talking and ums. Next up, From the Top by Ig Hop. From the Top is a podcast from the Vienna-based swing dance community, Ig Hop. They've only been around since the beginning of this year, and they have 4 episodes out. They had the idea of creating a full radio station full of music, and they would have shows in there and all this different kind of stuff, and then they realized that would take a lot of work. So then they kind of narrowed it down into this one focused show where they would take a topic and interview different dancers about said topic. Each one are very short, but very informative, coming from their announcer, Alexi, and also world-renowned dancers in our swing community. It's definitely worth a check out. They only have 4 episodes up on iTunes right now and SoundCloud. Listen to all of them at once while you're doing a workout or something. It's soothing because his voice is so nice. It's so crisp. So check them out, facebook.com/radio from the top for all of their old and upcoming episodes. And finally, The Track by Ryan Swift. The Track podcast just debuted a few months ago in April. Ryan Swift has been in the dance scene for a really long time, so he's been able to make friendships and contacts with so many different people in our dance scene. So he thought he might take it upon himself, along with the good people at Yehudi, to bring you these great interviews between him, dancers, and musicians that we really love and would love to hear from. The episode's up right now. It features Peter Strom, Nina Gilkinson, and Sky Humphreys. His goal with these interviews are to have his guests forget about the microphones and just talk freely about anything they feel like talking about. He got a good number of episodes in the can, as in he got them recorded, as to minimize the risk of getting too out on time and then kind of falling back and not posting on time. One of the biggest things he's learned is to plan ahead and don't bite off more than you can chew. My favorite interview of this podcast is where Ryan speaks to Peter about the music and how some people just feel the music in a totally different way because they are surrounded by it. And today we're surrounded by so many different feelings of music that jazz kind of gets lost amongst us a lot of the times. I really loved how they expressed the idea that we come to love jazz and we're not just lovers of jazz right off the bat. So check out Yehudi.com for the Track podcast. You can also catch them on iTunes. So right now, here are a couple honorable mentions I'd like to shout out right now about my favorite blogs that I've read in the past couple months. Jeff Lyko with Beginners Are the Best, about how beginners have it so awesome learning all these new different dance things on YouTube and the blogs and everything for the first time. Andrew Seltzer, Attending Bar Dances, a guide for swing dancers. This is a great and informative post about dancing in bars. So there's kind of a way of acting in a bar that is a little bit different than your run-of-the-mill dances that might be at a studio. So check it out. It's a really good read. The Bee's Knees Dance, the Buzz Blog, Tips for Growing Your Lindy Hop by Phil Borasa. I'm sorry I messed up your name, buddy, but I really like reading your blog about leveling up in Lindy Hop. And this is just a fun one I found from medium.com, 12 Steps to Becoming a Better Dancer. It's very short, great little pictures. I mean, it could have been on Jazz Monkey, to be honest. So I know there's so many blogs out there and podcasts and different things going on, and everybody out there, I'm sure you have an opinion about this dance, and these are just a few of my favorite blogs that I read. Here's the thing. I love them because I don't always agree with them. I find the things that someone might talk about, I look at it a different way. Does that mean that I hate them or I'm just gonna totally throw them away? No, but at least I know what somebody else is coming at this dance like, or the music, or this lifestyle that we have today. So now we get to the question of the day. What are some of your favorite blogs, vlogs, or podcasts, Lindy Hop or otherwise, and why? I love reading on the internet, and I love to see what everybody else is reading about. Maybe I might like some stuff too. You never know. I mean, it might take me forever to read it because I read at like a second grade reading level, and it's really confusing for me to read a lot at a time because I tend to fall asleep a lot. Please write your answers down below in the comment section, and you know I always come around those things, so I'll always answer back. So that's it for this episode of the Little Brown Jug Show. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you want to catch all my old episodes and any future ones. Hit that like button if you really want to. You can always find me on Facebook, Twitter, and MikeyPedroza.com. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Or hashtag Lindy Hop Problems. My air conditioner is peeing right now. Super awkward. One of my favorite posts is